Yo, what is going on, guys? So I have a huge Philadelphia Eagles update for you. A lot going on. I kind of waited a little bit just to see what was going on, but looks like big updates coming between draft compensation, roster moves, and plenty of other stuff. So let's get straight into this big Eagles update.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. So not only did A.J. Brown embarrass the Tennessee Titans on Sunday, he killed two birds with one stone and got his GM, his original ex-GM, John Robinson, fired. Literally not even 2 days after the game. Just got fired, giving Vrabel more control over the Titans roster from what it looks like. Because if you guys remember, Vrabel actually wanted, he actually said to the press, he said, I think before the trade happened, he said, like, A.J. Brown's not leaving this building, not on my watch. And obviously he was really pissed off. You could tell when he was traded at that moment, Vrabel was not happy over it. And I think, and I could tell because A.J. Brown went up to Vrabel during the game and gave him a big hug. And I know he's cool with the head coach. I think A.J. Brown is against the management for not paying him, the contract that he did get. So I just thought this was funny. A.J. Brown not only embarrassed the Titans, embarrassed the players, but kind of embarrassed that GM for the move that he did make. A.J. Brown is on the better team, obviously, so it doesn't matter. I thought this was funny, but A.J. Brown probably woke up and probably had a big laugh at this and couldn't be any happier for him. Now, the other night, Saints-Bucks, close game. I mean, the Bucks were down 13-3 at one point, and I was like, man, they're probably not going to win this game. Tom Brady comes back winning 17-16. They threw a pass to Julio Jones in the end zone when they were in the Saints' red zone, which was called back for a holding call, and then he came back, I think, with 8 seconds left and scored that touchdown when it only gave the Saints, I think, 3 seconds. They won by a point. Tom Brady did the Eagles fans and the Philadelphia Eagles a favor here. So that pick now went from 6. Now it is the 5th overall pick in the draft. Holy crap. Eagles are 11-1, and this pick is at 5 overall. Cannot be any happier than that. You go into the draft next year, and obviously we're not going to talk too much about it, but if you have a top 5 pick, you want that pick to be top 5. This isn't like this past year where the quarterback class was not strong. Most teams were trying to trade back and really trade up. This year's draft, with the quarterbacks coming out, a lot of teams are going to be moving up. And if the Eagles want to move back 2 spots, if you have a top 5 pick, you are guaranteed to have 2 first-round picks. A team will give you 2 first-rounders. So at the end of the day, you get to keep your own first-round pick, which is going to be dead last in the draft, but you can get a pick for 2024 if you really want. Okay, and you have 2 second-round picks for 2024. You get a first-round pick for 24. You'll have 2 firsts and 2 seconds. I think we got the second-round pick from, I'm guessing, the Saints trade. I forgot what trade that was. We got that extra second-round pick, but I know we have it for 24. Okay, I understand that we're going to want to, as fans, we want to pick 5th overall. If it stays there, we're going to want to pick 5th overall and just pick a player. But I'm not asking the Eagles to move back, 5, 10 spots. You move back 1 or 2 spots, you're going to get a lot of draft compensation. You're going to get an extra first-round pick for 2024. So why not do that? You move back a couple spots, it's not going to make a big difference, okay? Because a lot of teams are going to, a few teams are going to need some quarterbacks going into, next offseason, and Howie Roseman can take advantage of the situation. I don't think he's going to pick, if we have top 5 pick, I don't think he's picking top 5. It's just, I don't realistically see that with Howie. Howie likes to make moves. And like I said, I don't want to trade back 10 spots. Move back 1, 2 spots, 3 spots the least, okay? And I think at this point you get 2 first-round picks, trade, and get it done. and still get a top valuable player in this draft, which is well needed with the roster. Look, the Eagles already have a quarterback. The Eagles are going to be paying a quarterback. A lot of teams are going to see that the Eagles have a top 5 pick and say, well, let's give them a call because they already have their quarterback of the future. So depending on obviously what happens at the end of this year and what happens, but Jalen Hurts is locked in as a starting quarterback for years to come and kind of going to be waiting for that contract after this year. So let me know what you guys think about that. I think that's really interesting. I think trading back a spot or two would be the smart thing to do to get more picks. I like that how he's been trading back, but this trade back will be nothing more than 1 to 2 spots, which isn't a big deal. So I think that's a really good idea going forward. 5th overall pick, guys. The remaining schedule for the Saints as of right now, they're dead last in the league. Record-wise, dead last. I mean, not dead last, but I mean, they're probably the second worst team in the league at this point, and yeah, I mean, we'll see what the Saints do, but it should be a lot of fun the way this pick is going to go on the remaining of their schedule, which I think they can win probably win maybe. I'm guessing I'm going to take a shot at 1 game for the rest of the season because I think they will win against the Falcons. They still got to play the Browns. Deshaun Watson's back. I'm still getting, this is like his preseason, offseason pretty much, so he's still getting used to being a starting quarterback right now, so there's a lot going into this. Now, thirdly, this one is really interesting. Okay, Robert Quinn is on IR. Okay, now to find out why he's on IR, it looked like he actually had an injury, which I thought it was fake. I thought he had a fake injury last week. He was a healthy scratch. They sat him for the Titans game just because they want Jordan Davis to play. Okay, Robert Quinn hasn't really done much of anything. I don't know if it's because the way Gannon's using him or whatnot. So it looks like he had a little bit of a knee injury or his knee has been bothering him. I think this was like last Thursday or Friday. He actually showed up on the injury report, which was kind of weird. And I said, this is for Jordan Davis, for something. I thought it was a fake IR type move, healthy scratch type move, but it actually wasn't. He actually had some issues. He's been having some issues with his knee. Plus, I need to find out, has Robert Quinn actually had a bye week either, because he went from the Bears to the Eagles. I don't even think he hit a bye week yet with both of these teams, which is another interesting thing as well. So he's been playing a while now, but he's getting knee scope surgery, kind of like the same thing that Kelsey had with his elbow. He is going to get the knee, the scope knee surgery. Robert Quinn will be eligible to come back and play last week of the season against the Giants. So they could have him back at that time, and I think he will be back by the playoffs regardless, so that will be an interesting one. They're not going to keep him on IR for a long time. Obviously, the rest of the season's fine. Rest him up, get him ready for the playoffs, and that's really the move that they're making. Now, how are they replacing this move? Well, the Eagles had some roster moves, which are really interesting. Now, here it is. Eagles have signed defensive end Janarius Robinson from the practice squad to the active roster. Okay, they released Andre Chachere, which I'm kind of surprised because safety is very thin right now. Blankenship's playing really well. Kevon Wallace has made some plays the past couple weeks. I'll give respect where respect is due because I'm not a big Kevon Wallace fan, but has made some plays the past couple weeks. Quarterback Javelin Guidry and wide receiver Keywan Baker. That was the Keywan Baker signing was an interesting one after the Packers win because I thought they were making changes to special teams. I thought he was a 7th round pick from the Saints, I think. I figured they were making a switch at return specialist, or something like that. So that one was really interesting. So they released all those other players. Anthony Rush, defensive tackle, he's released. Jordan Davis is coming back, so Anthony Rush is gone. But Janarius Robinson, we picked him up, I think, right before week 2 of the Vikings game. He actually came from the Vikings practice squad. So Janarius Robinson at defensive end will get his shot. And who knows, guys? Like let's see what this guy could do. You know what I mean? So, it's just a body at the end of the day. Let's see what he could do. Who knows? He might make a couple plays. Until, obviously, we get, Robert Quinn back later this season. Janarius Robinson will be in there for Robert Quinn. So, it's not like Robert Quinn's done much of anything at this point, so I can't even really complain about it too much. But, we'll see how he does. We'll see down the line. Lastly, James Bradbury is going to have, we're going to have another Eagle to have a nice big revenge game against the New York Giants. The New York Giants and Washington last week tied, which I was actually really shocked over that and really helped the Eagles in a lot of ways. A tiebreaker is great. I mean, because really it's a game that doesn't even count and really affects both of those teams and affects us in a very, us and the Cowboys in a big possible way. So at this point, the Eagles beat the Giants on Sunday. It's pretty much they might be done with it. They might have a chance to get back in the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. They'll have a playoff spot, but will they be able to survive with the injuries that they do have? I kind of want to treat that Giants game just like Tennessee a little bit, but I think if you stop Saquon Barkley, make Daniel Jones throw the ball a lot more, I think mistakes are going to be made. Put pressure on Daniel Jones. And I think that's how you win defensively. Offensively, I think, Wink Martindale is going to blitz on every third down. I think this is going to be a game where you're going to have to run the ball a little bit. I think this is going to be a game where you're going to have to use a little bit of Jalen Hurts' legs in this game. Didn't use his legs that much in the Tennessee game, which was great. I think you're going to see a little bit of a game from Miles Sanders. I think you're going to have to use Jalen Hurts' legs just a little bit because they're going to blitz. Wink Martindale's a good defensive coordinator. They're down, two corners. They're down two starting cornerbacks. I mean, the Eagles, they're going to have to give pressure. They know that offensive line for the Eagles is really good. They have to, they're not going to be able to account for the Eagles' offensive line, so they're going to have to bring pressure on Hurts to bring him down. So that's going to be the game plan for the Giants going into this. Honestly, Bradbury, that's his former team, and, let go of him, didn't want to pay him, which they were in cap hell as it is with the Kenny Galladay signing and a bunch of other stuff going on. But at the same time, Bradbury definitely has some meat to pick with that team and why they treat him the way they did. I mean, look, last year, I loved the signing. I didn't think he would play this good. He's almost been shut down as a number 2. Not much on his plate because Slay is the number 1, but holy crap, he has done well. Even with Avonte Maddox being out, I think this secondary has done pretty good for itself. And Bradbury is going to get a shot at his former team, another player getting a shot at his former team, and that's pretty much it. So really, all I kind of worry about with the Giants going into this week is, they're a scrappy team. They fight. Got to stop Saquon Barkley, and you got to stop that Wink Martindale defense. I think that's what you have to do because they are going to blitz Jalen Hurts a lot. I got a big feeling that's what they're going to do. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I think the Saints pick is fantastic. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to stay at 5, but we'll see down the road. Still have some games to play. Robert Quinn on IR. Janarius Robinson comes in and, let the guy prove himself. You know what I mean? Made some roster moves, and then Bradbury gets a shot at his former team. Couldn't be any happier. Couldn't be any, to see this happen and see what he does. You know what I mean? So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. If I missed anything, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Definitely like this video. Definitely subscribe if you're new. We cover the Eagles every day, videos every day, live play-by-play reactions every weekend. And I hope to see you guys on the next Eagles update. You guys have a fantastic day at 11-1. I'll see you guys later. SHAKESQUAD up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.